Time to take a walk on the wildlife side. This is certainly fun to talk about. Andrew McDonald has spent the last decade of his life visiting 5 continents and 18 countries, capturing these beautiful images of nature in action, whether it's animals on the African plains or in the hills of Scotland. This guy never seems to miss a picture-perfect moment. And joining us now from Edinburgh, Scotland, wildlife photographer and videographer Andrew McDonald. Mr. McDonald, thank you for being here, sir.
No, thank you very much for having me.
I'm guessing that picture behind you wasn't bought from, like the nearest Target store. You probably took that picture
No.
yourself, right?
Yeah, this is one of my shots here from Zambia.
So listen, let me ask you this. How many of these shots that you get are planned versus how many of them are just you maybe capturing the perfect moment in time?
I would say that most of them are just capturing the perfect moment in time.
Wow.
You might have, I've often got a vision of pictures that I would love to capture, but it's all about getting yourself into the right place. So what I would say is you probably go out there and then you never know what Mother Nature's going to deliver to you every single time you go out. So your plans will change from minute to minute, and you just have to, when you see things unfolding, get yourself in the right position and then grab the shots.
So I saw a pretty massive lens on the end of your camera there. It looks like you're, literally right next to these animals, but I would imagine you're focusing in from a pretty far distance, right? Nobody can really get that close to a cheetah, can they?
No, you can get pretty close to the animals. They become very used to seeing vehicles. They don't really associate humans with a vehicle unless you sort of break the shape of the vehicle, break the silhouette of a vehicle.
Okay.
So a lot of the shots I take are probably within anything from 70 meters down to sometimes 5 meters, really.
Wow. All right. Well, there you go. How does the weather play a role in how you shoot your photos? It looks like you've actually got some great, just kind of weather-related shots in and of itself here.
Yeah, obviously, photographers love to chase that golden light. So you're sort of looking at your golden hours, an hour after sunrise, an hour before sunset is your golden hour time, as you can see the sun setting there. But also, if it's, if you get in Africa, especially, you have the dry seasons and the wet seasons. So your landscape will change completely in those 2 different times from green backdrops to more sort of deserty backdrops. So you can get more unique pictures in the green seasons during the rainy seasons with maybe a leopard with bright green foliage, which you don't get at other times of year.
I got to tell you, man, some of the most breathtaking pics, I think, in my opinion, are the ones that you've taken of lions. What's your favorite animal maybe to take a picture of? Would it be the king of the jungle, or is it something else?
I would say when lions are doing something, then they're fantastic animals to photograph. But, a lot of the time they can just be sleeping and not doing too much. Animals which I never really get tired of watching and shooting are probably more likely to be elephants. Whenever you're watching elephants, you can see their behavior. You can watch them. They're always doing something. And maybe a leopard. I could even watch a leopard sleeping, and it's still one of the most beautiful animals to see.
Yeah, I could only imagine. Hey, getting back to the weather angle of this, I understand that you actually experienced a breathtaking cloud inversion just this summer. Is that right?
Yeah, that was summer past here. Yeah, that was actually in the Lake District in England when I saw that.
Wow.
So I was in the Lake District, and the weather was actually pretty terrible. And I was like, well, I'm here, so I may as well just, get up. It was actually a mountain called Great Gable here. So I was like, I may as well just hike up there. And just at the very top, as you can see, unexpectedly came right through the clouds there. And it was also just timed well for sunset. So I was up there for maybe over an hour and a half with these incredible conditions.
Looks like you were in the middle of heaven right there, walking on the clouds.
Yeah, it sort of felt like that, yeah. And I ended up being up there until it got pretty dark because I just didn't want to leave. So it was, head torch on the way down just to make sure I could stay on the path.
Unbelievable. Hey, let me ask you a one-word question answer. What's easier to photograph, humans or animals?
I would always go for animals. It's sometimes easier when you can't direct an animal. You can direct a human, but I'm far better just to let an animal do what it wants to do, and then I'll capture it.
Mr. McDonald, thanks for being here.